Simply put, it's just really delusional to have an idea and not do anything about it. So just having an idea and just living it fallow is a delusion. Welcome to the conversation on TOS Television Network, your digital first Pan-African news network. And as always, the conversation comes to you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. And my name is Adesu Osui.
My name is Merciful Ajinoma. It's good to have you join us on the conversation. How are you doing today, Sue?
I'm very well, Merciful. It's good to have you join me on the conversation.
Always a pleasure. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thank you.
I've asked you before because, you know, the bells are ringing. So
I know.
I know you're really happy about the season and everything. So
I'm very happy.
We'll definitely link up.
Yes, definitely. All right, moving straight into stories and happenings from across Africa, starting from Sudan. In November, Sudan was unable to access $650 million in international funding, the finance minister of the dissolved government said.
And that was a sad one. And now to Burkina Faso, where the president, Roch Marc Christian Kabore, on Wednesday sacked Prime Minister Christopher Dabire of his duties.
That's been going on around the continent for a bit. Away from that to Ethiopia. Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, who has been at the front line in the civil war which started in Tigray last year, left the battlefront on Wednesday, and that's yesterday, and returned to his usual work in the capital, Addis Ababa. Now, I know lots of stories are true with this one. Like, what was he doing there? What happened? What did he go to do there? While a lot of persons were worried that should he actually be in the front line, especially, you know, with what happened to Idris Deby of Chad, you know, when he went to lead the troops on the front line and then we lost him as president. So having to have
a sitting president
going to the front line, it was kind of, you know, there was a bit of
I think now it's like a breather. Now we know that he's going back to usual duties, so they'll do their work while he does his work.
Yeah, he said the first phase of the conflict has ended, so I think there's another phase and he might have to go back. I don't know how.
Thank God for his life.
All right. Okay, and that's it for stories and happenings from across Africa. That's development across Africa segment of the conversation. Right about now, I'll be bringing you COVID-19 update from across Africa, and after that we'll be delving straight into the big story.
Yes, it is the conversation showing on your digital first Pan-African news network. And as a digital first Pan-African news network, you should be a part of our social media community. Follow us across all our social media platforms that is displayed on your screen. That is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That is TOS TV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube as well, so you do not miss out on our amazing content. It's the big story, the crux of the conversation, and this time we'll talk about an update from the Chief Justice of Nigeria, warning the security agencies that they should stop embarrassing judicial officers. And joining us to analyze this is Felix Adetowubo, a public affairs analyst. You're welcome to the show, sir. Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Good. So the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Muhammad, just yesterday warned security operatives against embarrassing judicial officers. He said the judiciary would not take kindly if there is a repeat of any ugly treatment from security operatives. You know, this is coming after the invasion of Justice Odili's apartment. What's your take on the warning coming from the Chief Justice of Nigeria?
Thank you very much. I think the Chief Justice has said the right thing, because if you are seeking for an end, then the means you use must be as pure as the end you seek. The DSS or SSS, because there is nothing like DSS. If you get to court, they will now tell you that you've not sued them because they are not DSS but SSS. So let me use their name. So the SSS, or I'm using the SS now because of what happened in 2016, October 8 to be precise, when the homes of the judges were invaded, you know, a kind of sting operation carried out, and at the end of the day, till today, none of those judges were, has been prosecuted, and it really caused for worry, because the judicial arm of government happens to be the the one that is carrying all the brunt of the whole thing, because they are now subjected to the jackboot of the executives. You know, they are being trampled anyhow, and they are the whipping child, you know, because they have nowhere to run to, they have no one to talk to, and whatever is just done by the executive, you know, is just seen as a normal thing. And it should not be in a country, you know, that is being governed by the rule of law. And the rule of law must always be followed in everything we do. And the constitution on its own is the organic law of the rule of law, and also the foundation of all laws, you know, that we have. So when it comes to the issue of judiciary, even though if any judge has committed any crime, because everybody to all the arms of God, everybody too is subjected to the position of the constitution. So that shows that an action may be constitutional, but yet illegal. And that's what we are seeing when homes of judges are being invaded, when judges are being harassed. You know, judges don't have immunity against criminal prosecution. We know that, as against the provision of the law according to section 308 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, that provides that the governor, the president is vice, then the governor and his deputy cannot be charged or tried, you know, for criminal offenses, either criminal or civil offenses, while in power. But this does not go to, is not applicable to the judiciary, even the legislative arm. Are you getting my point? Yeah. So they don't have this immunity. So they are supposed also, they can also, you know, be tried. But if you are trying them, you have to go through the right process. And what is this right process? The right process is simple. Number one, even before I even go to that right process, we need to also know the position of the SSS or the SSS. The responsibility of the SSS. Don't forget, the SSS is not even a creation of the Constitution. The judicial arm is a creation of the Constitution according to Section 6 of the 1999 Constitution. But when we are talking of the SSS, they are not the creation of the Constitution, but the creation of an act, you know, National Security Agencies Act. So they are so low to the body that is being created by its Constitution, you know, to start harassing unnecessarily. They don't have that power to do all those harassments, you know, that they do. And their major responsibility is, you know, the prevention and the detection within Nigeria of any crime against the internal security of Nigeria. Theirs is to gather intelligence, then give to people who are to carry out their own responsibility. You know, they will have done the findings, then take it to either the police, you know, the police or the EFCC when it comes to the issue of financial crimes and the rest. But we see that the SSS, you know, they are not only doing what the act that established them is doing, which is to gather intelligence, and they are now usurping the power, not only the powers of the police, not only the powers of the EFCC. They have even gone ahead to act ultra vires, you know, and now stepping into, you know, the powers of the NJC. The NJC is the only body. The NJC is the only body, according to Section 153 of the Constitution, to try the judges. No other body in Nigeria. They are the ones that will do that and submit them for prosecution. But they didn't go through all this. You know, the next thing we see is to start invading, to start carrying out all these things. I think this is not good for our democracy.
So now this is coming from the Chief Justice of Nigeria, and this is pertaining to the judiciary. And you said there is no immunity whatsoever for the judiciary in issues like this. Now, what about those Nigerians who have been talking about this before now, talking about the illegal invasion of properties of Nigerians, not just the people who are working in the judiciary?
You mean, are you talking of Nigerians or judiciary?
Nigerians, average Nigerians who are not affiliated with judiciary, who have been complaining of the harassment by the same SSS officials.
of course, let's say Nigerians generally, see, the thing is, the security agencies, I'm not saying they are not empowered to carry out the duties of investigation and the rest. But all I'm saying is that whatever that should be done within the ambit of the law. If it has gone beyond the ambit of law, which in law is referred to as being ultra vires, it's not good. They also should be subjected to, prosecution because they've gone ultra vires. And if you've gone outside, the laws that set you up, that is also corruption. So we can't be saying that we are fighting corruption. We can't be saying that we are fighting, anomalies in the country. That we now use a means that is not also good, to fight such. It doesn't make any sense. The rule of law must be followed in all things. Now, any Nigerian that is being harassed has the right to go to court, for a redress. No Nigerians is supposed to be, a subject of any harassment by anybody. You can see what happened. What really happened during the NSAS is a kind of harassment.
Yeah.
Some security agencies going beyond the laws that set them up, going beyond what is supposed to do. Now they are now a law to themselves, thinking that they can look at the issue of seizing people's properties. You can't seize people's properties anyhow. And that's why I, as a person, I have issues with the executive order 6 by the president, which says that anybody that is suspected to have committed a crime, to have committed corruption, that person's property should be seized. Then you go to court, to go and prove. But the position of the criminal code is simple. The position of the criminal code is that if you are alleging that I have stolen a pencil, you that have alleged should be the one to prove before I release my properties to you.
All right.
And that's the position of the law. But when you now go against all these things, against position of the law, you are acting ultra vires, and it's not good. If you see, none of those people that have invaded judges' houses or judges' homes that have been prosecuted. Look at the issue of orderly. We are not hearing anything. But I only hope that the NBA will not sleep over this and make sure that justice is served. Because if it is not done, let me tell you, the act that even set up the NJC, the NJC rule does not allow judges to back, let alone going up with any act. It's only lawyers that can also fight for them. So they don't really have that power. Their powers are limited to even speak for themselves.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Felix, for staying on the conversation with us this time.
You're welcome.
And thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to the show. Again, I will say you have to be a part of our social media community so you do not miss out on anything at all. My name is Merciful Ajinamo.
And I'm Adesua. So thank you for joining us. Please stay safe always and join us again tomorrow.